here in Paseo de Santiago, Iligan City.
This is site of our first date. Well, one of the few places Chris and I went on our first date in 2019.
Yes. And we also got married here. This was our wedding venue last year, 2022.
2022. And now we're returning as husband and wife in 2023.
We're going to do some redo some shots that we had during our wedding day in this place.
Yes.
But first, let's have a quick tour muna sa Paseo de Santiago.
First time come back here, being able to take in this place. First time kasi, trying to be myself because it's missing this is the first time. Second time you were here, we just had time to talk to the admin about making this a wedding venue. Didn't have time to explore except the castle itself. And now,
yeah, that's true. That's a good point, Mahal.
yes,
Kasi when we were here last year, it was for the preparation of the wedding. So we really had no time to sit down and relax and enjoy the view and explore the place. We just want to book the place and then move on to the next.
hopefully we get the place not double booked or anything like
Yeah.
that.
That's good.
Considering the issue we had with that other location.
Yeah, that's true. Let's visit the exact spot where we got married.
Yes, not too far from here.
So this spot right here is the exterior of our wedding venue. And remember this place? We have our photo shoot here too, right?
Yes.
Okay, now we're getting inside the venue. So ladies and gentlemen, this is where we got married last year, June 25th.
That is our entrance.
That's our entrance. That's where Louie and I entered. So we had our ceremony here. This is the altar. The altar was here. And this is where we had our reception. Really nostalgic.
Hmm?
How do you feel?
It feels nice. Come back to the wedding location, as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
No pressure of stressing about whether we had this place or just being ourselves this time. So guys, we're here to have a quick chat about how it all started for Chris and I. As you probably know by now, we met through an online dating
Yes.
app. Why did we even choose to go online dating? For me personally, there's already a desire in my heart to get married. But at the same time, I'm also open to what God has planned for me, even if it includes singleness. I came to a point where I felt like I was ready to get married, but I don't know at the time what God has in store for me. So I tried dating, dating women, and
Face to face.
face to face. Yeah, and unfortunately, none of them worked out. And I belong to a smaller church community where most of the attendees or members my age are already married and have their own family. So needless to say, there's not much option for me. I thought one day, why not give online dating a try? So, it basically, for me, it's a thought of expanding your circle,
That's true.
not just limit to your church
Yeah.
community or your friends, things like that.
So, as you see, Louie is already part of a small church. So, my local community na siya. And he's also been serving. You've been serving serving God in the ministry for how many years, Mahan?
At the time when I started online dating, I'd say about 11 years.
11 years.
Yes.
So he's been serving in the ministry.
Yes. The feeling of being ready to get married didn't come along until later in life, and that's how I started trying online dating.
Like Louie, I too, I'm a part of a local church community, and I am actively serving God in the ministry. So I'm part of the worship ministry, part of the singles ministry, in serving God, meeting people through different leadership conferences. But why did I go online dating? First reason is everyone around me was already younger than me. All the singles, they were already younger than me, and I was already 30 or mid 30 to mid 30s. So everyone was younger than me. There was I would say, like similar to what Louie said, there was a limited circle in our local church community. So there was not much peers my age, and then there were peers my age, but they were already married, because 30 people in their 30s, somehow these people already married, in that married stage already. So I was still single, and like Louie, what he mentioned earlier, there was also that desire to get married. And of course, if you're single for a long time and you're asking God, you have a relationship with the Lord, somehow your heart will be open to the idea, Lord, perhaps singleness is your will for me. So there was that part talaga in my heart, and I believe in Louis din. But the desire to get married was not lost in translation kay Lord, di ba,
Yes.
mahal? God knew that. So yun, and people might say, oh, baka you're choosy or you're picky. Well, in my circumstance, I only had very, very few suitors. So and I would like to rebut that being choosy or being picky, because if you're going to choose someone who you're going to spend your life with, you really have to be choosy.
Yes.
You really have to really be choosy, because you don't have to get married just for the sake of getting married. Come on, you're marrying someone for the rest of your life, and you have to share the
It's
same
a lifetime
value.
commitment.
Yeah, it's a lifetime commitment. So yes, we have to be choosy, and we have to really, really pray about it. So you have to have the same value, the same maturity level, I would say, because you'll be talking about God. What's important for me is I can have a conversation with God and about ministry with someone.
Yes.
Di ba, mahal?
Yes.
So yan yung nasa puso ko. And so aside from the less suitors, people were younger than me, peers my age were already married. So somehow I feel that I was limited in terms of my circle. So, and that's when the idea of online dating came to mind. So online dating, like what Louie said earlier, was just like, it's like an expansion of your circle.
Your circle.
Yeah, kasi we're in the flesh. We can only be in one place at the same time.
That's true.
So you cannot really go to other places and meet other people. So with prayer, in my situation, that was my case. So that was my situation. So I really prayed about it, and then of course accountability with fellow believers I told a sister that I'm going online dating. Please help me guard my conversation. Yung ganun, there's always that accountability factor din sa in my case. And so that's where I went online dating, and eventually Louie saw my profile. He liked my profile,
Yes.
and
I won't go into details, but for me, before even me, Krisna, I was already talked to
yeah,
a few women, but it came down to a point of the desire to serve. And well, Krisna talked about being choosy. I guess
yeah,
you could say that part of it's being choosy as well. But again, for me, it came down to a point of having desire to serve God in the ministry,
yeah.
as well as loving God.
So hello, this is a continuation of our video.
Apologize that our previous video was cut off abruptly because I forgot to bring the reserve battery, and we ran out of battery with our recorder. Anyway,
Well, as we can see, we're in a different venue. We're actually in Boracay. So when the camera died, we had no other time to record the continuation of the video because we have to travel to Manila and then to Aklan. So we're now in Boracay. So let's continue the chat. So Louie?
as I was mentioning in the previous video, previously before the video was cut off, ministry was important to me, as it was a big part of my life at the time I started online dating. And before meeting my bride, I was already talking to a few women actually, but it didn't pan out because you could say I have non-negotiables. Ministry was a big part of my life, and I feel like I wanted someone who would understand the time and devotion to ministry. Of course, we know, or I know, that family comes first before ministry, but if I did take that regard, it could be a source of conflict in your marriage down the line. So that's why I mentioned that ministry was a huge part of my search. And lo and behold, when I looked at Krisna's profile, we both serve in ministry, and we pretty much almost same doctrinal value instead. And upon talking to her, I believe she understood that commitment. And that, of course, it won't take over the relationship, but it's also part of who she is. So I had an idea that grasp that she would understand my desire as well to serve.
And like Louie, I was also looking for someone who's in the ministry. So I mentioned earlier about being choosy and selecting a life partner, and by that I mean it would really help in the long run if you have a list of non-negotiable traits. These are traits that you find important for your lifetime partner to have. So in my case, it was the love of God. My life partner should love God, fear God, believe in the authority of scriptures, believe in the Holy Trinity, and believe it or not, I actually asked Louie in one of our video calls early on in our online dating. I actually asked him about these questions. Did you remember that, babe?
Yes.
Yes. And also water baptism. I actually asked him about that. And so to know if we are really on the same page, because these are the things that are very important to me. So, and about salvation, the basis of salvation, that's very important for me. And well, we have the same foundation, we have the same statement of faith, and another non-negotiable trait that I find very important is honor, the respect, love, and honoring parents and the family, which I also find in Louie. Eventually, it's not immediate, but I find that in the long run. And in his emails as well, I can sense how he respects his parents every time he talks about them. And then lastly, of course, being part of the ministry, because like Louie, I've been serving in the ministry since high school. So being serving God in the ministry is really a part of me. It's really a big part of my life. So yeah, that's all. I think that's what I mentioned earlier about being choosy. So it's really helpful that you have a non-negotiable, that you have a list of non-negotiable traits for your life partner to have.
Having non-negotiables will help you down the line, because marriage is a lifetime commitment.
Yeah.
Let's move on to online dating and the risk.
Yes, there are a few things that you need to watch out when it comes to online dating. So earlier we mentioned why women online dating. Now we will share to you quickly the risks of online dating. And first is
Not knowing the other person, because fully. For me, we did a little research to help, you could say, establish the identity of the other person. With Krisna, I did a digging on her local church Facebook page to see if she actually was serving in the ministry that she said.
Oh, were you looking at Cisa Piligan page?
Yes.
That's what he did. A little bit of stalking.
A little bit of stalking, say.
Yeah.
And also, the background, things like that. I was primarily also, every time she tells something, I was, especially if she mentioned something twice or more than once.
But that will confirm, right?
That will confirm that it's true.
So we would suggest more research. You have to do a lot of research, because all you have is the information they are giving on their profile. So that's all you have. So you really have to confirm this information if these are true. And in my case, I actually, well, good thing, actually Louie sent me a link of the website link of their church. So I was able to really check his name, his face, and the names of their pastor, and then eventually I reached out to his pastor, two of his pastors, to confirm his credibility, his character, parang character check na din siya, and to really confirm if he does exist. So, and yeah, his two pastors confirmed, and they actually affirmed Louie. So that was a relief for me when I received their message. Okay, so it's really true, he's legit. So yeah.
And I guess to close things out, we'd recommend online dating, and for those of you who want to give it a try, but with, I guess you could say, with an asterisk, like you really have to do your research.
Yes.
What Christian mentioned, he verified through other people. If other people could verify that person, their character, then that's a plus. Also, one good thing is if they introduce you to their family, maybe not right away, but eventually.
Later in our conversation, in our earlier conversations with Louie, I told my parents about him when he's been consistent for a few months. he always asks me how I'm doing, and then eventually I think he told me that he mentioned me to your parents.
Yes.
So when he told me that he mentioned about me to his parents, for me I take that as, oh, he's really serious. He's really serious. I mean, he's really being intentional. So that's when I started thinking na this online dating is really going somewhere. It's not just the chatting and the emailing back and forth. So it's really heading somewhere. So that's when I told my parents about him as well.
Hello, here we are again in another location here at BGC.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we experienced a technical issue with our footage, so we need to re-record the conclusion of our topic.
So to wrap up this video, here are our suggestions on online dating. In dating in general, be it face-to-face or online, you've got to have a clear intention. In online dating, we haven't mentioned this in our video earlier, but we will include this in our suggestion. In online dating, choose a decent platform. Okay, there are a lot of platforms such as Tinder and other platforms. Be careful, so make sure you choose a decent platform. The platform you use somehow determines the kind of people you'll be meeting. Well, in our case, we chose a platform na may bayad, so somehow that gives us an idea that the people in that platform are not just anybody, but they're because they have to pay, you know. So.
Yeah, like looking for like a one-night thing, things like that. So they're serious.
Yes. So yeah.
And next is you should also pray for guidance and be teachable. That's very important, especially because like we said, it's online dating. Allow the people who are important to you to be accountable in your online dating. They will help you warn red flags, especially in Krisna's case and in my case as well.
Yes.
Because sometimes guys, lahat naman tayo, we have blind spots that we need to be guided, especially when it comes to online dating. We feel like, nagkakagusto sa akin tong guy na to or tong girl to, and then go lang.
Yeah, minsan we get excited kasi.
Yes. And also research, confirm the information that they're telling you if they're true. So be wise. Don't just rely on the person's profile or like word of mouth.
Yes, research a lot. And identify non-negotiable traits you desire to see in your life partner. So we mentioned this earlier for Louie and my non-negotiable traits. So this is true for both face-to-face and online dating. So remember, marriage is a lifelong commitment. And we also suggest that you would have the desire that your marriage, our marriage, will be productive. And by that we mean you guys can accomplish things that is beneficial for your society, for the family, for your community, because of a healthy and loving partnership with your spouse.
And lastly, I guess we could say, watch out for those people who keep your dating relationship or even your relationship a secret. Like they put off trying to introduce you to their loved ones, even friends. Delikado yan. It's sure red flag.
Yeah.
And well, I guess that's it, guys.
That's it.
We're gonna end this video now. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.